Okay, I hope this shows the spot that I really want to talk about at first. Well, what I'm saying is the spot that I want to talk about at first. I guess the spot that started initiating this whole process of me thinking about how to help out the Third Army, and it ended up working. I haven't figured out the specifics of like which units are going to go where, but yeah, it just led me down a path, and now I'm like, wow, I can't believe I maybe have figured out how to, I don't know, not save the entire Third Army's bacon, but I don't know. Maybe I've solved. I feel pretty satisfied, is what I'm saying. But boy, did it ever take a long time. Anyways, it all started with the fact that I didn't want to just leave the 97th, the Austrian 97th Brigade's sacrifice, basically to go unnoticed, and also I don't know, to go in vain. So they were here last turn when the Russians took the hex. And let's be honest, I knew what I was doing way back when I mean, you don't put a one strength brigade by itself to face off against Lord knows how many freaking divisions was in, is in there. But I had no choice. I needed something to slow them down just for one turn, right? Oh my God, there's that word again. So, and they did it. I mean, there was always a possibility that it would have been a horrible die roll for the Eighth Army, and they could have lived, but no, that wasn't the case. Anyways, so I was like, okay, I want to find out more about this 97th Infantry Brigade before I go. And like I said, I also wanted to figure out not let their sacrifices go. I was like, okay, don't, because I was like, okay, well, this is over with. You can screw the Borovich dictum. It doesn't say anything about, holding territory when you're getting encircled, for crying out loud. But I spent a good chunk of yesterday due to the fact that Rob's actually coming over today to play because his son had a soccer game yesterday. And let's be honest, I mean, family will always trump gaming, for goodness sakes. So, and my God, was it ever a nice day to play soccer? Holy moly. Anyways, so I got to spend a lot of time staring at this thing like, how the heck do I get these guys out of here? Because the Eighth Army's okay. And oh, there was the other serendipitous thing for or opportunist, or I don't know, happy-go-lucky thing for the Austrians. My daughter and son-in-law showed up on Friday, and it just so happened that the turn was over. And I went, hey, wait a minute. Do you want to figure out who goes first? Because I think I mentioned this, I'm using these little blocks. And I said, hey, you guys don't even, I don't think, know which color represents which side. And so my daughter picked first, and it was the Austrians. So that's why I'm yapping about the Austrians. And my son-in-law picked the Germans second. I normally don't know who goes second, but it's not going to be a big deal. Anyways, so yeah, so I got to spend a lot of time yesterday. Oh my God, I can't believe how long it took for me to finally get some really good information about the 97th Infantry Brigade. Normally, I'm a lot quicker than this. Like, some of my sources are just, well, I'm sure the same sources as other people, but like, it is, some of my sources are just incredible. I'm like, wow, like, just ridiculous amount of detail. Um, you can find out, it's just like, oh my goodness. But oh my, it was really hard to find out where the 90 information about the 97th Brigade. Anyways, maybe I'll start with them, and then I can start yabbering away about, and I can also talk about why that thing's here. That's the magic spot. I can't get anyone there. I have tried so hard to figure out how to get. Oh my God! If I could just get some unit there, you know what I mean? Then I can just slow them down one more turn. But the next best thing that I can do is load up some troops in Lemberg, move my headquarters from there to here. Okay, they lose the city center. At least, which is going to be the inevitable retreat of my troops here, or like, obviously, because since I said I can't get anybody here, no matter what, the I'm sure the Russians are going to move up ahead here. And so I'm going to load up here, move my headquarters back here, and I'm not kidding you. Based on after spending several hours of staring at this effing thing, I figured out how to get troops everywhere but here. So that's awesome. Like, I mean, that means it's not just because I thought, honestly, when I started here, I was like, well, it's like I said, free range for the Austrian 8th. And I was, when I was looking here, I'm Austrian 8th, Russian 8th. When I was looking here and I was like, if it was the Russians' turn first, I'm not kidding, I just saw appetizer, main course, and dessert. Appetizer, sever the double rail line. Main course, nail Lemberg once you've got everybody there. And I'm sorry to say, dessert would have been the bridge hex because, oh, and that's another separate thing I'm doing right now is reading up on my previous notes to find out when the first encounter of either hex here was. I'm getting close, but because I want to know, I do know that the inevitability of I do have to start withdrawing troops, especially now that it's so neat to be able to see these strength points right on the freaking map. I don't have to keep going back and forth. So right off, I'm like, whoa, have the Austrians ever been loading up on that bridge hex for obvious, and it's entrenched, like, oh, smokes. But so I'm like, okay, enough's enough. You've got 11 strength points. Everything's falling apart here. You have to bring troops back. However, the last troops that I want to remove from this hex are going to be the troops that have been there the longest. As far as I'm concerned, they deserve it because, man, that has just been a wicked battle. So, yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the 97th Infantry Brigade. And then, and on a side note, yet again, I'm so flippin' glad that I am somewhat meticulous with my note-taking. And also I'm doing these videos because when I went and put these things on, I forgot to, one of the main things I try to do when I do is always put a temporary position marker on my hex. So that way when I start fiddling around with the counters, I know where it is. Because trust me, I've got one of the worst bloody positional memory retention things. It's astonishing. Oh God, hope to God I never have to do a cognitive test. Anyways, so I ended up inadvertently when I was sticking these things back on, put this guy here, and for almost the majority of the day yesterday, I even think I sent a video or a picture on a forum of Battle Group 4 over here, which was supposed to be over here. Anyways, when I went to start moving, I'm like, what in the world's going on here? Why didn't the Russians move, like, advance? To me, I was like, that doesn't make any bloody sense. And I was like, well, maybe the Russians completely forgot. Then I started thinking, well, it's because you've been focusing on so many other things, you're starting to slip. And I was like, well, and then I went, well, maybe I should go take a look at your notes. And was like, yep, sure enough. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, let's go to the 97th Brigade. I can do a little chit-chat about them. And then I can... Anyways, and then I'm going to start talking about, and this is it. This is my key to victory, I think, for saving their bacon. The 9 strength point group. Now, these guys were recombined last turn, and we're going to do that beautiful conveyor belt thing. I love having, oh God, it's just so neat to have exhausted troops removed from the front in the same turn and then bring fresh troops back. Oh, it's just awesome. I'm sure the opponent is like, God, but you know, that's the way it goes. So that's was my initial plan, was obviously to bring Battle Group 5 to replace, and I could have done that in one turn. And I think they already have some replacement units in the bag sitting there, and I wouldn't have moved my headquarters. So next, it would have been just like ding, 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 ding. I mean, I could have replaced, you know what I mean? It's just awesome. However, now that when I realized I saw the 9 strength points there, I was like, you know what? And then, okay, now what I'm trying to say is the longer I'm playing this game, I can see or at least, I mean, I'm sure, you know, if I ever play against an opponent, another human being, and maybe I'll get my ass kicked, and I hope I learn, but, it seems to me I'm starting to click or think more stuff, because now I was like, wow, you haven't been using rail much. And I've been writing this down after every turn, going, remind yourself to start using rail more. All I've been thinking about mostly about rail is just for the reinforcements and stuff, or thinking about German rail, because it's like, oh, German rail is so efficient, right? And it's like, yeah, but the other sides did use trains too, dude. So, yeah. So, and I'm well under the threshold for what Austrians can use for divisions on double rail. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Battle Group 5, and I'm sorry, Germans, I'm sure that maybe they were thinking I was going to send, troops over here, which I guess I should be doing. But I mean, let's be honest, the Austrians are the ones that caused this whole trouble in the first place. Well, I mean, metaphorically, or I guess if you want to look at it in the war sense, but I mean, in my game, they ignored the Russian fourth the entire time. Several warnings saying an entire army's bearing down on Krakow, and Conrad was just so hell bent on this September offensive here. Anyways, and yet again, the Austrians are not helping out. Because I really want tough. I'm sorry, the 97th. I'm going to try to help, or like I said, I don't want their sacrifice to go. So these guys are going to go over here, and I can easily protect the double rail line, at least for a turn. I think I can put people here. What the heck's my cat doing, man? Oh, I think it found a bug. So, anyways, I think I can go, like I said, everywhere but here. That's pretty darn good. And the next best thing is to then stock up on Lemberg here. And still yet, I don't want to give up terrain. But like I said, it's amazing that I was able to stick to the Borovich dictum of not trying to give up territory, and also try to help out the Austrian third here. But I'm going to strip some forces, obviously, from here, some strength or troops from here, and wiggle them in here. I don't know, yet again, maybe I can do this little trick of moving these guys over to here. You know what I mean? That conveyor belt thing again. Like I said, I don't know. I don't have the specifics yet, but that'll be all right. I can do that, no problem. Okay. I'll do the quickie little narrative of the 97th, and that'll be that. But man, did it ever take a while to... And yet again, I don't have all the details. It's another thing is it's getting to levels of detail in abbreviations and also military talk that I'm not very familiar with. Like, I'm still learning. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm sure some people, when they say brigade, they can see that in their head. Like, how many people? I have no clue. All I know is a brigade is smaller than a division. That's really about it. Oh my goodness. So hold on here. I'm just going to take some sip of tea. I can't believe this tea has supplanted my second cup of coffee of the day. That is just, what in the world has happened to the world? Anyways, the 97th. So I think this is them, is what I'm saying. And it was yet again rather difficult to get some information. Anyways, I think they're called the 97th Royal Hungarian Landstrum Brigade, not the Landwehr, because I couldn't find anything about 97th Landwehr written down. So I don't know. And they were commanded by General Major Weber, and they consisted of 4 regiments: the 9th Landstrum, 10th Landstrum, 11th Landstrum, and 16th Landstrum infantry regiments, and each regiment consisted of 3 battalions. And from what I can gather, they were originally with the Przemyśl Fortress. Przemyśl, boy, that doesn't roll off the tongue well for an English-speaking Canadian, I can tell you that much. Originally with Przemyśl Fortress garrison, right here, under Field Marshal von Kuzmanek. They then got assigned to the 3rd Army in August 1914 under General der Oh, brother. Kovaleric Rudolf Ritter von Brudermann. And I'm not sure, but I think they may have been part of the 14th Corps. But like I said, I have my doubts. They seem to be listed under in this section called Other Troops. And like I said, I'm not very proficient in understanding how everything's organized and what all the abbreviations mean. But from what I've read, I might as well put the counter back on the poor little guys. Um, from what I've read, the 97th Royal Hungarian Landstrum Brigade were never expected to see like frontline action. So, I mean, they were like in their mid 30s, early 40s, from what I know. And so, yet again, it's like, wow, that must have been. I know this isn't real life. Trust me, but I mean, it must have just been terrifying to go. This is your, and they stuck it out. They sat there and had to face several divisions from the Russian Eighth Army. And like I said, they could have, well, they certainly were instrumental in potentially saving the Third Army. That's the way I'm looking at it. All right, that's the end of that.